I'm doing a short video to show you how to make a really good swaddle. Two swaddles that we're going to see today are with a muslin blanket as well as with a Velcro swaddle. For those who missed the newborn webinar we had yesterday, we have another one on Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to compensate for the Zoom debacle that we had the other night. So we're going to use my good friend and baby mascot Fiji tonight to show you how to make a good swaddle. So this is a muslin blanket. This is the first swaddle we'll see. And it's probably the type of swaddle you'll use in the first few weeks with your baby because it's very easy to use with a newborn. As they become a little bit stronger though, I tend to gravitate towards a Velcro swaddle. It's easier and it stays in place longer even if your baby is very strong and moving quite a bit. So your standard muslin blanket is like a big rectangle, and you're going to take one edge of it and put it in front of you like this. I like to take the edge that has these little things on it because I don't want it scratching my baby's skin. So I fold it downwards like this, and I take my baby and I place my baby so that the swaddle top is right at the neckline or just a little bit higher like that. You don't want it to land at the shoulders or too low on the back. So then what I do is I hold down my baby's first arm because usually they're flinging around and maybe they're even a little bit upset. And I'm going to take this corner here and lift it up a little bit and pull it right over the shoulder and underneath my baby's arm like this to make it nice and tight. Then I'm going to take his other arm, bring it to his side, and I'm going to very gently just turn my baby a little bit like this so that I can tuck my swaddle right underneath him. Then I'm going to hold it in place while I find the bottom edge of my swaddle and bring it up like this. And I really want to make sort of like a V around his neck like this. Once it's nicely placed, I pull it upwards. I'm going to lift my baby just enough to come pull the extra underneath him like this. And finally, I'm going to use this last piece and I'm going to give it a little tug to make it nice and tight. I'm going to lift it, pass it over my baby, unroll it a little bit if it's gotten a bit stuck. I'm going to pull it, tug it, pass it underneath my baby again. And when I'm at this stage, I'm going to hold my baby, tug one last time to make it really nice and snug, because remember, you want to emulate the sensations inside of the uterus, so it's really tight in there. And that's what they like. So once it's nice and tight, I'm just going to roll it into sort of a tightrope, if you will. And I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to go stuff my little roll deep down into my edge. And then I have a really nice tight swaddle. So this works really well in the first few weeks. Your baby is small. He fits just fine in this. It really prevents the arms from wiggling around and it makes them very, very comfortable. As your baby gets a little bit bigger and perhaps a little bit stronger, they tend to unravel their swaddles a little bit too easily. And then that can become a little bit of a danger because any loose bedding in your baby's bassinet is a risk for suffocation. So we really don't want to play around with that. So my second favorite swaddle is what we call a Velcro swaddle. And a Velcro swaddle is basically just like a little tube to put your baby in, and then two edges that are Velcro. And this is like super easy to use. You're going to take your baby, put him at the same height again. You want the swaddle at the neck. I'm going to put his little legs in there. Now my baby's a little bit small. I'm going to lift it up like this, tug the arm in. I'm going to make it nice and tight and go and attach my first Velcro. I'm going to take his other arm and put it by his side. And then I'm going to flip that edge underneath him and then give it a nice little tug and go and attach my very last Velcros. And then I have a really nice fitted swaddle. And as we were talking, around 8 weeks you should be working out of the swaddle, or at any given time that your baby is beginning to learn how to turn onto his stomach, or even if he's done it but by accident. You don't want your baby sleeping and turning on his stomach with a swaddle. It becomes dangerous. So before 8 weeks or around 8 weeks, we want to work out of a swaddle. You can do the same thing with a muslin blanket, but I'll show you how to do it with a Velcro swaddle. So the first night, you would just leave one arm out, tuck this edge underneath, and make a nice tight swaddle like this, but leave one arm out. And then on the second night, you would just take both arms out, and then you would make sort of just a body swaddle like this. And then finally, you remove your swaddle. So the trick that we were talking about, the 5 S's of Dr. Karp, when you have a really, really fussy baby, and you're doing cluster feeds, but even though you're doing cluster feeds during a witching hour or a growth spurt, it's just not doing the job anymore. What you want to do is do your 5 S's. So you're going to use your breastfeeding pillow, and I really recommend this one. It's called My Breast Friend. It's a really neat and comfortable pillow. You can actually attach it to your body like this. And you would sit on the couch like this. And like I said in the video, you might want to use an extra little pillow like this to put underneath so that you're nice and comfortable, so that your baby can really be at breast level. But when you have a really fussy baby, basically what you want to do is you take your baby, you do your first S, you do a swaddle. Then you're going to do stomach. So you're placing your baby on your forearm like this with his head off to the side. And then you're going to start swaying like this. And you're going to go shh until your baby starts to be calm enough. And once your baby is calm enough, because you already have your pillow, you're able to switch and turn like this. Put your baby on the breast or give the bottle. If that's what you're doing, you put your little pillow so that you're nice and comfortable, and you just breastfeed him that final step until he's really, really asleep, and then you can go and put him down in his bassinet. So I hope that was clear enough on the use of a swaddle. And if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments, and I will be answering them for you in the following days. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.